Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're off to see the wizard along the yellow grass roads of Arabia as JorDan, playing as the red Portuguese, prepares to take on Hera, playing as the blue Malians. Now as the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Portuguese are a mixed land-based and naval civilization whose economic bonuses allow you to take advantage of its many strong gunpowder units. To get an early game boost to your economy, Portuguese foragers also auto-generate wood as they collect berries. All Portuguese units cost less gold. All technologies are researched faster, except for going up in age. And once you hit Imperial, you can actually build the unique structure of the Portuguese, the Feitoria, an economic building that auto-generates all 4 resources, but does take up 20 population space. Now, using all of these bonuses and features, the Portuguese can field a very impressive gunpowder-based army, as the Portuguese have access to every single gunpowder unit in the game. All of these gunpowder units can be upgraded to fire more accurately at moving targets and to increase the speed of their projectiles, which strongly benefits the unique unit of the Portuguese, the organ gun. Think of this as a gunpowder siege unit that fires 5 bullets at once in a huge spread designed to hit multiple targets at once. Now, playing opposite our red Portuguese, we have Hera as the blue Malians. As we saw a few days ago in my previous video, this is a civ that is classified as infantry, but my god, is it so much more. Yes, to start with, units produced in Malian barracks do get extra pierce armor for free, starting in Feudal, all the way up to +3 in Imperial, and the Malian unique unit is the Gebetto, a very quick infantry unit with a strong ranged melee attack, but terrible dogshit HP and 0 base armor of any kind. But beyond their infantry, Malian cavalry can be upgraded to get a massive attack boost of +5, which is amazing because even though Malians do not have hussars and paladins, with this upgrade, their cavalry their cavaliers have a higher base attack than paladins, and their light cavalry and heavy camels are among some of the strongest in the game. Now, if you choose instead to go the archer route, know that you'll have plenty of wood in stock, since all Malian buildings except farms cost less wood. Now, in order to build their military as fast as possible, Malian gold mines do last 30% longer, their universities work 80% faster, and their villagers are harder to raid, because the Malians can actually upgrade their town centers to fire 5 arrows even when not garrisoned, up to 15 when fully garrisoned, compared to the usual 10 that any other civilization would fire. So overall, we've got 2 very fun civs in the hands of 2 very strong players. Take a look at their Elos at the top of your screen. JorDan, only 10 Elo points behind Hera, both of them at a ridiculously astronomical Elos higher than 2,700. Let's take a look at their bases, as both players are still gathering all their herdables, their deer, etc., both sitting on the same villager count. Hera's base, this is just a completely open base. There's no way to wall this. If you try to wall this base, I mean, this is your easiest bet here, but look how far any kind of wall off here is away from your original settlement location. My god, is this base open. Gold exposed to the north, stone exposed to the south. Not a fun starting spawn for Hera. JorDan in the exact same position. His is also stone exposed to the north, gold exposed to the south, with an annoying hill here, which, if it falls into enemy hands, will make collecting this gold much harder, much more annoying. In any event, Hera, the first to click up to Feudal, not far behind, about 10 seconds behind, is JorDan, both on the back of 19 villagers and 1 scout cavalry. Hera exploring the outer perimeters, going by a very cool jaguar. Very cool. I love the animals in this game. All the dangerous ones. The Komodo dragon is my favorite. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite one is, although probably a silly thing to ask. But let's take a look at what the players have seen of each other's bases, if anything. JorDan has not scouted any portion of Hera's base, although that's going to change any second now as he sees a barracks going down, so he's going to know what the general approximate location of the bases. As we can see, he's already starting to explore the perimeter. He's going to hit the wood line, I think, any second now. Yeah, there's that wood line. Let's see if he goes a little bit north. He'll see a few lumberjacks completely exposed, but immediately Hera, look at that reaction speed, gates himself in, blockades himself in. Hera, on the other hand, has seen the outline of his opponent's base. At this point, scouting, I would say, roughly equal for both players. Not too sure why their Elos are here on the bottom right. 27-26 for Hera, 27-16. I'm not sure. Sometimes Capture Age does that, where it'll show the Elos of the players. Sometimes it's incorrect. In this case, it happens to be perfectly accurate. And JorDan does not want any more intrusions, does not want his opponent to have any more vision, so begins walling off his base. But look how far away the wall off is. Let's take a look at the location of the forests on these maps. Pretty far for JorDan. And when they're this far, you really do have to close yourself off against any kind of harassment, because if you come under harassment here, by the time your villagers make the trek all the way down to your town center, one of them might die, and that is not something you want. A second scout cavalry on the way to JorDan's base from Hera. 2 more in production for our blue Malian, who is making zero effort to wall off his base. I don't mind this at all. I hope he sees that this part is open. Yeah, he sees it. So he's instead creating a funnel. Instead of a perfect 100% wall off, he's making it harder for JorDan to encroach, because if JorDan wants to get into Hera's base now, he'll have to go through this town center, which will immediately, I can guarantee you, start firing arrows, raining hell down upon JorDan's head. JorDan moving forward with a pretty eclectic army here. 1 scout, 1 spear, 1 archer. He's got to be careful. And now a jaguar coming in for our blue Malian. No one asked it to. It just volunteered, poking away at this unfortunate spearman. I wonder if the animals also get a high ground attack boost of 25% extra damage. Definitely something for the Spirit of the Law to take a look at, if that is something that is possible in the, I guess, the game editor, or if he just knows off the top of his head. I have no clue. Oh, Age of Empires. So many nooks and crannies of knowledge and things like that in this game, what makes it incredibly fun. In any event, both players sitting on the same military count. Hera just starting to edge out his opponent 8-7. Villager count, though, very much in favor of JorDan, who's going up to 29 to the 26 of our blue Malian. Big engage here in the center. Big for Feudal, let's say. Big with an asterisk, with a footnote. And Hera shoos away this force. I mean, he can continue chasing them down, maybe pick off the spearmen first, which is what he's trying to do with these skirmishers. Intercepts the archers, blocks their path. Oh, God. Hera treating this JorDan army just like he would treat a boar that he's, boar number 5 and 6, using his scout cavalry expertly to block their path and herd them in the way he wanted to. Brilliant play here by our blue Malian. Take a look at the kill count, 7-1 in favor of Hera. And is it any surprise with this kind of micro that he is 7-1 in the lead in terms of kill count? Scout cavalry being built inside the stable, does not want to reveal it, although at this stage of the game, what else could it possibly be? We've got a spearman also hiding inside the barracks, waiting for the right moment to come out. Look how beautiful these buildings are with the vines. I love this game so much. Sorry, if you're new to my casts, or if you watched my cast before, you know I fanboy out a lot. This was a very fun game for me in high school in the late 90s. And it's a very important, special game to me. And every chance, this definitive edition, what they've done with the graphics is just next level shit. It's incredibly beautiful. Eventually, I'll switch to 4K as opposed to the usual 2K that I've started. What the hell happened there? As opposed to the 2K that I've started streaming on before. But for now, the players just poking and prodding at each other. Nothing really crazy. JorDan equal. What was that again? Is Hera deleting units? That was very suspicious. The first time, maybe here, I could see some arrows from the town center firing. Maybe I'll rewind. We'll see what happens. We'll see how long the game goes. If it lasts another 5 minutes, I'll rewind. If it lasts another hour, I definitely will not. But in any event, very strange that 2 units twice have died in tandem, hand in hand. Reminds me of those those articles you see once every like 5 or 6 years that they've discovered a new burial ground, you know, somewhere in Italy near Vesuvius, or somewhere near a volcano in Russia or Turkey, where husband and wife or whatever are holding hands and they died together, and you know, like Romeo and Juliet style, very romantic, etc. That's what that reminds me of. In any event, JorDan, with his 13 army supplied to 4, is now circling Hera's base, no doubt looking for some kind of avenue of attack here, some way to get into here. But Hera, with his towers, like I said, he is not interested in walling off his base at all. Does wall off the back, which is beautiful, gives him a bunch of room to expand into. In the front, though, he is completely open. Although with the feudal age army, are you really going to risk all of these resources, all of these units, when entering into the kill zone of a tower and a town center? I mean, 5 villagers can run into here, and even though they are the weakest units you can garrison inside, they will still fire. Hera, though, out of position with some of his archers. Okay, beautiful spearman movement. Another red dot moving across the map. Yes, it's another archer. My god, JorDan is putting on a lot of feudal pressure, and you can tell because he's basically a minute behind Hera going up to castle. Hera getting archer upgrades, JorDan also with the 1+1 attack upgrade on his archers. But yeah, he is investing so many resources that he was a full minute, a little bit over a minute behind his opponent in going up to castle. We'll see what Hera can actually do with this 1 minute extra time, whether that's even enough for it to really be a quote-unquote advantage, or whether it's just, you know, it's just something that's happening. Another archery range going down for our red Portuguese. And we'll see what he does when he hits castle, and also a tower for him. Like I said, this high ground gold, always a pain in the ass. Always make sure you secure the high ground in Age of Empires. I mean, it's not Tatari. We're not playing Tatars, but where the hell is JorDan's army? Did it go all the way back home? Okay. So he does not want to risk it, which tells me these are probably going to get upgraded to crossbows the second he hits castle. Otherwise, they would have stayed out on the map. But with all these skirmishers and Hera hitting castle first, very wise move from JorDan to retreat back to the safety of his structures, of his base, of home turf, while he can either heal these somehow by garrisoning them inside his own tower or town center, or, okay, let's see if he manages to close this off, or just to wait for upgrades to kick in. Let's see in a second if I'm right. He hits castle. At this point, though, maybe not really looking. Yeah, okay, crossbow upgrade going down. I was going to say maybe he's not really looking at upgrades since Hera is already knocking down the front door with a knight. Okay, that knight changes the dynamics. The knight and elite skirmishers now. These scouts are not going to stand a chance. Now we've got 2 knights for our Malian. Like I said, they are classified as an infantry civilization, but I mean, does this look like an infantry civilization? There's not a single infantryman here in this entire army composition, except for 1 spearman who is, okay, defending a contested middle of the ground gold pile. And yeah, at this stage of the game, both players are going to realize that their funnel strategies are not going to really deter knights, although what might deter knights is 15 freaking crossbows. JorDan with knights of his own shooing away these elite skirmishers. I mean, he's got to close the distance here with his crossbows. You're going to lose a few, but, you know, whatever. It's Age of Empires. You're going to lose your units, but you got to get rid of these. Okay, takes a little hit with this knight. His HP... Oh, I could swear that I saw this blue knight attack that red knight. I don't know why his HP did not go down. Maybe he ran away right before. In any event, let's take a look at the production facilities as the players disengage. We have a few seconds here to see the directions the players want to go. 2 stables, 2 archery ranges, and a barracks, a university going down. No second town center for either player at this stage of the game. Okay, bloodlines, bowsaw for Hera, so he's continuing to upgrade his units. His opponent dumping every available resource into just producing more and more army. Hera, on the other hand, what does he have? 1 barracks, 1 archery range, and 1 stable. So he's going for the one of everything. The Dalai Lama joke of how he orders a pizza and they say, what do you want on your pizza? And the Dalai Lama goes, 1 with everything. That is what Hera is doing at the moment. He's got 1 monk in production. We'll see if that's to heal his army or if that's to collect relics. But neither player really interested in engaging here. JorDan really needs to complete this wall off here to the north, just to kind of make sure. Annoying spearman went from guarding gold to poking and prodding away at an archery range. And again, both parties disengage. Ballistics going down for our red Portuguese. And we'll see if he decides to play gunpowder. So these crossbows are going to be much more accurate against these skirmishers as they move left, right. You know, Hera, you know his micro if you've watched him play before. You know he does not. No moss grows under the ass of these units, as the expression goes. They are constantly on the move, so ballistics is a definite requirement for anyone playing against Hera using archer ranged units. Although now 7 knights to the 8 of Hera. And these armies are pretty identical. Knight count here is quite similar. I mean, there's a lot more crossbows than there are elite skirmishers, but the elite skirmishers are the better unit against the crossbows. So, especially with this high ground hill here, who knows how the battle here will shape up? Not that we're actually going to witness one, because again, both parties disengage. Finally, a second town center going down for Hera. Beautiful placement, right next to the gold, right next to the wood. Lots and lots of space here for farms. So 3 resources killed with 1 stone. He is unnecessarily taking HP damage. Okay, the knight was to heal and to convert, but did neither, I don't think. Instead took a crossbow bolt to the back of the head, and just now he's feeding the worms on this hill. Is this monk? But here comes Hera with his elite skirmishers, but not enough. Not enough. Again, the better unit. And upgrades-wise, better upgrades, since he's got the defensive +1, where JorDan does not. But in terms of quantity, this is just way too much red here. 35 army supply to 18, and now we've got a big ol' engagement. Immediately snipes the monk. Both monks. Does JorDan... Oh, get your crossbows onto the high ground, please. Knights dying. Horses winning. Their death call. What is it called? A death call? A death shriek? Hera loses that battle just by virtue of numbers alone. And now JorDan is streaming reinforcements, parade pushing across the map with crossbows, with anything he can. Knights, crossbows, everything and anything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at Hera right now. JorDan is basically dumping all of his resources into creating an army right now. No upgrades whatsoever. Hera with the +2 defensive upgrade. Another upgrade for his archers. He is going quality over quantity. JorDan, the exact opposite, just shoving into the front here with 20 crossbows. Pretty good HP on them still, only down about 10%. Okay, wheelbarrow going down for JorDan, who is still on 1 town center. 55 villagers going up to 56. Hera 61 going up to 66. So he's going to have a 10 villager advantage. Pulls 6 of them from their wood or whatever they were gathering to build a 3rd town center. Very aggressive siege workshop here for JorDan. Only 1 villager, though, so it's not going up anytime soon. Let's see if Harris manages to react. He is not on the map at all, although right as I say that, he does push out with a body of knights to the north. JorDan has to be careful here. These units are very flimsy. Yeah, it loses 1 immediately. But even more important, you do not want Hera to start chasing these crossbows to discover this siege workshop. Right now, you've got Hera in the dark. He does not know that there's a structure here. So keep him surprised right up until the moment that whatever, I'm assuming a mangonel. Yeah, mangonel comes out. And let's see. Oh, my goodness. Oh, poor jaguar. Oh, so much innocent wildlife blood just shed in this game. Oh, he's got to get here quickly. No, there's a hole here. Hera sniffs out the 1 tile that he can use to attack. And here come the knights. Now he's definitely going to see the siege workshop. He sees the flags. He knows what's in there. Oh. Okay. Does get a few kills with the mangonel. Not sure it was the right time to reveal it. 2 skirmishers for a mangonel is not a good trade. Although has to retreat, does Hera. These knights, he's got to heal them up. They're down about 20 HP, 20% HP. Now Hera running away from our red player's monks, who is going up to 6 monks. JorDan. What is this dot? Hera collecting relics. He is 1 relic to nothing. a house being built. So he doesn't want to guard this relic or keep it in a vision with any kind of units. He's instead building a house. Oh my god. JorDan Viper walls these knights in, but Hera cannot, JorDan cannot use his numbers advantage here because it's a one tile. He's got to go around. He's got to surround these knights, and Hera, beautiful, manages to escape with one. What a fun little play here by both players. Oh my god. Hera says, you think I'm going right? I'm going to deke you and go left. Hera playing a good old pick and roll here. That was beautiful. That was so much fun to watch. What a fun, when you have these kinds of players, it's always, you pray that you get to see little deeks and little tricks like that. But the main theater of war, as always, at least always in the last 34 minutes, has been in front of Hera's base and is now under siege with one mangonel. Do we have a second one? Yes, we do. In production, literally about to pop out as I finish this sentence. But look what Hera's researching. Redemption. And you know what that does? That's going to allow these guys to convert these siege weapons. Oh, and what else is he researching? Sanctity. So not only is he going to convert the siege weapons, his monks are going to be a little bit tankier, so they'll be able to take a few extra crossbow bolts to the face. Terrible engage here for Hera, who's down double the army supply of his opponent, or rather down to half of the army supply of his opponent, less than half. And this town center, oh, why are you firing on the mangonels? Fire on the weaker units. Okay, good. Picks off the spearmen. I'm not too sure, honestly, why JorDan is retreating here. Your knights are still at over 1,000 HP. This town center is not going to do anything to that. Oh, and here we go. Couple of monks. Let's see if they get a convert here. Gets one convert. Oh, gets a convert. And Hera, with the fast fingers, deletes his other mangonel. Or rather, JorDan deletes his other mangonel. But Hera, with the fast fingers, does manage to get a volley off on a bunch of crossbows. But again here, Hera can't keep taking these engages. He's again at below half the army supply of his opponent, even though he's sitting at 100 villagers, going up to 105. My god, is JorDan's game plan to get to Imperial and just build a bunch of Fetorias? I have no idea. I hope this game goes into Imperial. I mean, so far the micro, first of all, this little event here was incredible. Then the getting of the mangonel, the converting of the mangonel, the deletion of the second, and then immediately once he got the mangonel to shoot at the crossbows and kill a whole bunch of them. Beautiful play. But again, JorDan playing a little bit too cautious. I mean, Hera is now at 25 army supply, which is above half of what JorDan has. So he's starting to catch up, although, and by the way, I think Hera's ahead in upgrades. Yeah, he's about to have +2 attack on his cavalry. He's already at +2/+2 on his archers, although that doesn't really matter. He's got one skirmisher. Why are you engaged? Okay, yeah, he wants to attack these villagers building this castle. He knows the second this castle goes up, this entire area is no longer a viable source of attack for him, does JorDan, so immediately pivots to the north. Okay, so he's abandoning this route and wants to attack north. Maybe start shelling away at your opponent's monastery. You know that there's the flag is up. You know there are relics in there. But JorDan behind on upgrades and now behind on army supply, and Hera pounces. Tries to draw JorDan into the castle fire radius. JorDan very careful here to skirt that blue line. Hera moving forward with his own mangonel. We'll see what he can do with that. But this body of knights, I think Hera now has more knights than JorDan. A lot more knights, by the way. 35 to 17. Oh, JorDan, you gave your opponent way too much time here. He needs the best engage of his life, does JorDan, if Hera decides to attack. These crossbows are going to pick off, what, 3 or 4 knights? 5, 6? That's going to do nothing to Hera's army. He's going up to 41 knights. Okay, choke point is terrible, but no mangonel shots to take advantage of it. And now Hera swarms. Look at this. Inserts himself right into the middle of the field of battle and just lets the army do what the army does best, which is just kill his opponent. Oh, God. Oh, wow. I mean, JorDan had a few reasons. I'm surprised he GG'd, although not really surprised. He gave Hera way too much leeway, way too much flexibility when he was attacking here. I had a feeling that he was being a little too cautious, and because of that, Hera just, with this economy of 116 villagers, 27 on gold, 33 on food. Let's rewind. Let's take a look at this battle again, because I want to see exactly what happened here. There were a bunch of monks. Let's see if they managed to get any converts. Okay. JorDan, only 18 on gold, 21 on food. So take a look. He's down at half the villager count, about, or I guess a little bit more than half of Hera. Hera's at 115. I don't know. Did JorDan not expect it? I mean, obviously he didn't expect it, otherwise he wouldn't be here with his army. But God, he gave Hera an inch, and Hera just took a meter instead and rebuilt his entire army. He was at 15 army supply literally a few minutes ago. How the hell did he do this? Let's take a look at his production. How many stables did he make? 7 stables. That's how he did it. Beautiful play. You know, anytime I say something as a general rule or whatever, Hera always... Or any amazing player, sometimes JorDan, sometimes Hera, sometimes the Viper, sometimes a million other amazing players. But in this case, Hera just proves me right and just reinforces 7 stables is the reason he was able to go up to 41 knights when he was at 15 a minute ago. Let's see what his opponent can produce. 5 stables, so not far behind, but not enough villagers, only 18 on gold, 260 gold. Is not enough to even come close to contesting this army count. Okay, so let's see what happens. These knights move in here to the south. They try to get this mangonel. Okay, let's see what happens. We're going to play it at half speed. A bunch of converts going down. 2 monks trying to convert this one knight. Gets the knight. Loses the mangonel. And now let's see. Sorry again, I'm going to just quickly rewind. I want to see if JorDan got any shots off, because this here is a very dangerous choke point for Hera. Very dangerous. I'm surprised he didn't demolish his barracks. Don't really need a barracks at this point. I have no infantry for the infantry civ. So has to go into this 2x2 tile here. Area of space. Or maybe it's even 2x1. This mangonel completely out of position. This guy should be here, and they should be attack grounding the shit out of this little clump of vegetation, this flora. But let's see what actually happens. Okay, so the parties are about to engage. 40 knights for Hera. 22 for JorDan. 17 crossbows. That's not going to accomplish much. Let's see if these can even one-shot a knight. So one knights has 4 pierce. These guys attack on a 7. No bonus whatsoever. So they're attacking on a 7. Hera's armor is 4. So each one of these guys does 3 damage to this knight. Unless my math is completely off. 3 damage. You have 120 HP. 3 damage a pop means you need 40 volleys. 40 to kill a knight. And he has 17 crossbows. So if all of these crossbows train their bolts onto one knight, they will do 17 times 3 damage. Which is what, 51? Which is not even half. So they need 3 volleys from all 17 to kill one knight. So JorDan's army is just completely outmatched here. Completely outmatched. And even though Hera loses the mangonel here, he does get a convert on a knight here. This mangonel is not very useful at this stage, especially when you've got this many knights. But let's see. I want to keep an eye out on this little choke point here and see if JorDan did any attack round whatsoever. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, God, it falls behind Hera's army. So he did not attack ground. He attacked an actual unit. And now I feel like I missed a few units in counting. JorDan has, 22 and 19 crossbows. Still not enough crossbows to kill one knight, unless that knight's HP is terrible, which I don't see a single knight here whose HP is below half, except maybe this guy, who's at 57. So these crossbows, for all purposes of this battle, are useless units. They are going to get maybe 1, maybe 2, at most 3 kills on them. So let's see. Right now they're at 13 kills. Let's see what they get at the end of the game. And then Hera just swarms. Does not attack. Brilliant move here. Doesn't attack. Had he right-clicked on any of these units, his knights would have clumped up here in the center and then spread out around the edges as they do in Age of Empires. Instead, he does not do attack move. He just moves them, probably clicked somewhere here, spread a few of them to get this mangonel. Not sure why. This mangonel is very useless at this stage. He's got just so much more units than his opponent. But what a brilliant move here by Hera. You see how they're not attacking? They're just moving. They're surrounding his opponent. And only then, once they've surrounded the crossbows, surrounded the mangonel, do they engage. Both mangonels go down. 19 crossbows has now become 7. 22 knights still exist. So maybe a small mistake there by Hera. Although I'm cautious to even call it a mistake given how much ass he's kicking. And at the end of the day, 19 crossbows die, 8 red knights die, and only 7 of Hera's units die. And take a look at the HP. 2,800 HP of army still left against 1,000 HP of his opponent. We obviously know who wins that battle. A bunch of monks. Let's see if those guys got any converts. Okay, I like that they're healing the units. Okay, we see some convert lines. Okay, all 4 are targeting 1 knight. Okay, targeting 3 knights. I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, I guess he got all 3. Okay, so Hera didn't even actually lose as many knights as I thought in the actual battle. He lost 3 of them to converts. And wow, what a fantastic battle here for Hera. Not only does he dodge this very poorly taken shot from the mangonel, does what I love, which is ignoring the monks. Who cares if you lose 3 or 4 knights when you've seen your opponent's army? Because, by the way, Hera had full vision of his opponent's army with all of his structures here. So he saw everything. And he just knew that he outnumbered his opponent. Yeah, JorDan just gave Hera way too much slack, way too much leeway. And the second Hera built this castle, he had to pivot north. I like that he pivoted to a high ground, so his crossbows did extra damage. I did not take that into account when I did my basic bitch mathematics here. But in any event, even with the high ground, even with 25% more damage output from a 3 or a 4 to a 5, a 4 or a 5 attack, it doesn't really matter. He did not have the quantity of crossbows needed to even contest what Hera was about to throw at him. Terrible on mangonel shot here, missing entirely. Another mangonel completely out of position. 4 monks were the heroes. They got the converts. I think we saw 3, unless I'm mistaken. But overall, JorDan had this the momentum in the game, but then for some reason took his foot off the gas. And Hera doing what Hera does, which is just play this game incredibly well. Not only economic macro with 116 villagers going to 121, but also building these 7 stables allowed him to repopulate his knight count very fast, to the point where within minutes he had gone down from being down half an army to having an even bigger army. And yeah, what a fantastic battle he took here. Takes the W after slaughtering JorDan's red armies, and GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.